Today's episode of Aquatic Wetline is brought to you by Oasis Aquatics. Find your oasis today. Find your next fish at oasisaquaticsnj.com. Check out Oasis Aquatics on Facebook and Instagram.
Every Friday night.
Hey, can you turn that down?
Never!
Don't try this at home.
Happy Friday, Fish Keepers! Welcome to Friday Live with Aqua Alex. I hope you guys are having an awesome Friday and are looking forward to an awesome weekend. Tomorrow is the 100th episode of Saturday Live. So we're less than 24 hours away from our historic 100th episode of Saturday Live. Tonight we have a lot of fun fish action coming your way, less than 24 hours before the 100th episode of Saturday Live. We were going to have our first special guest, Jesse from Salient Aquatics, on the show, but unfortunately he couldn't make it tonight. But we're going to play two of Jesse's amazing videos from his YouTube channel, Salient Aquatics. My featured fish is the Jack Dempsey cichlid. The South American featured fish of the week is the Redhook Silverdollar. The saltwater fish of the week will be the Foxface Rabbitfish. Oasis Aquatics featured fish will be the Blue Moba Frontosa. My amazing fish is going to be the Tiger Oscar, all that and more. We have a loaded show coming your way, so let's go ahead and get this show started. So, my Fish Tanks Aquatics is in the house. Hey, how are you? Hope you're doing well, and thank you so much for tuning in. And he says Jesse is good people. Yes, that is 100% true. He is definitely a great gentleman, one of my good friends as well. All right, so let's start the show with Aqua Alex Asks You. I have a couple of questions that I'm asking you, and you can post your answers down in the comments below. So here are the questions that I am asking you. If you could choose any fish species to represent America, what fish would you choose and why? The second question is, does your local fish store accept trade-ins? And do they usually have large fish? And the third question is, who would you like to see me interview here on Friday Live? Go ahead and post your answers down in the comments below. So if you could choose any fish species to represent America, what would they be? Does your local fish store accept trade-ins, and do they usually have large fish? And who would you like to see me interview on Friday Live? Go ahead and post your answers in the comments. So I'm going to start the show by answering these questions, and then I'm going to show you some answers that I received earlier today from our good friend Jeremy Leighty. If I could choose any fish species to represent America, I would choose the betta, the Siamese fighting fish, because they have colors red, white, and blue. I also would choose the largemouth bass because they're a very resilient fish. Does my local fish store accept trade-ins? Yes, they do, and they usually do have large fish in their largest aquarium. And the third question is for you guys to answer, so you guys can post your answers in the comments. All right, and here are some answers that were submitted to me from my friend Jeremy Leighty. His first answer for question number 1 is paddlefish. He says they're rare, ancient, and they have a species recovery success story. And he has one local fish shop that accepts unwanted fish for either store credit or simply because the owner gives it up. And yes, they carry larger fish species. And Sam scales due to his incredible wealth of knowledge. So that's Jeremy Leighty's amazing questions. All right, let's go ahead and welcome Aqua Alexa to the show. And this week, Aqua Alexa has facts on growing out fish. She has tips and facts for growing out your fish. Here is Aqua Alexa.
Aqua Alexa here. Here are this week's tips and facts. This week, I will be giving out information for helping you grow your fish. Here are tips for growing out fish. Healthy big-sized fishes just look amazing in display aquariums and they attract a lot of attention too, especially if you have a monster tank with exotic fishes like flowerhorns, arowanas, and kois. If tank is kept at an office reception or maybe a restaurant, we need fishes that can be seen from long distances and should be clearly visible to passers-by. So I'll be presenting some mind-blowing ethical tips to grow your fish faster and also at the same time make them healthier. Let's get into it. Big tank. The simplest way of growing your fishes is of course putting them into a big tank. It would surely promote a bigger size, and the reason behind this is that it restricts the activity of a fish when kept in a smaller aquarium than they require. That is, your fish won't be able to swim freely, leading to stunting growth. So the bigger the tank is, more are the chances of your fish being bigger and happier. This can be easily observed in fishes like angels and iridescent sharks. The bigger your tank is, the bigger they get. Proper acclimation. When added to a tank, the fish's growth may temporarily stop or slow down due to the new environment and parameters of the tank. So go for a proper acclimation and wait for at least 1 week for the fish to get properly set to the tank. Float the bag for 20 minutes, adding little amount of tank water into it occasionally. At last, take the fish in a net and slowly release into the tank. Switch off the lights for 3 to 4 hours. High-quality food and good nutrition. It is obvious that high-quality nutrition-rich food will contain better enrichments providing factors for their body. A good balanced diet is something that directly affects the overall growth of any fish. You would want your fish to eat frequently and more amounts. But make sure not to overfeed, as doing that would be actually killing that fish. So focus more on optimum quantity and which is more nutritious. The premium foods available in the market can actually give you great results when given in right quantity. These can act as enrichments just like we take while bodybuilding. If working on some specific breed, you can always go for breed-specific foods. The premium foods available in the market can actually give you great results when given in right quantity. These can act as enrichments just like we take while bodybuilding. If working on some specific breed, you can always go for breed-specific foods. You can easily find foods named as betta, flowerhorn, or arowana special foods, which actually target to promote the growth of that particular breed. Like flowerhorn food will have more fat content, so as to promote the hump growth of the flowerhorn, while betta food will have more of spirulina content to enhance colors. Natural foods like raw market shrimp, tilapia, and earthworms will also help with fish growth. Temperature. Temperature plays an important role in the overall metabolism of your fish. They live in water and thus the overall water temperature will affect their body processes. Like for angels, the optimum temperature of 25–28 degrees Celsius will be just right, whereas lower than that makes them lethargic and higher than that actually makes them age too fast. Make sure you avoid frequent and swift temperature changes in the tank as that can lead to temperature shocks. So temperature regulation can be a great ethical way to grow your fish and also make their metabolism more stable. Water quality. Now when you are giving lots of nutrition-rich food to your fish, water will inevitably get dirty. Leftover will release fats into the water. Fish would be producing more amount of waste, and so overall water quality may drop. The healthier the water is, the healthier would be the fish in it. So keeping the water pristine surely helps a lot. This will also save your fish from suddenly getting ill and dying. If the water is perfect, the fish do develop a strong immune system, and so if confronted with an infection, it will have a good chance of surviving. Regular water changes. So this is how to attain conditions of the previous point. A weekly 50% water change can help your tank to maintain stable parameters and avoid nitrates or ammonia accumulation in the tank. 10% water change during an outbreak would help keeping the water conditions stable. A good filtration system will save your work and could create just the right conditions for useful bacterial colonies. Tank with low nitrates, stable pH, and a good amount of good bacteria will act as a great medium for fish growth. Being in a stable, healthy environment, your fish will be stronger. This will lead to a good growth rate and fewer chances of water shocks and deaths. However, you can't always keep the tank super clean, but regular and well-planned water changes do help a lot. Summing up, these techniques would surely help your fish get bigger and stronger, but patience is the key. Everything must be balanced, and if not, then things would just go wrong. Overfeeding too much supplements will lead to unwanted fat tissues in the body and may affect their physical health. It also depends on that individual fish. Some would grow faster than others and some won't. Those are my facts this week. Next week I will have facts on aquarium filtration systems.
Thank you, Aqua Alexa, for those facts on growing fish out. It's always important to know how to successfully and healthily grow fish out. And now it's time for my featured fish. This week's featured fish is the Jack Dempsey cichlid. Let's learn all about the beautiful Jack Dempsey cichlid from Central America. It's time for this week's featured fish. This week I am featuring the Jack Dempsey cichlid. The Jack Dempsey cichlid is one of my favorite Central American cichlids. The Jack Dempsey cichlid is named after the famous boxer from the 1920s. The common name for the Jack Dempsey may make you think that this fish is a bruiser and that the fish is really aggressive. But given the right setup, it could be a good tank mate if kept with similar cichlids. The Jack Dempsey cichlid is a beautiful Central American cichlid. It has a lot of great colors. It has gold and blue, purple and red. It's a really colorful cichlid from Central America. The Jack Dempsey is native to freshwater habitats from southern Mexico to Honduras, where it is found in slow-moving waters, such as swampy areas with warm, murky water, weedy, mud, and sand-bottom canals, drainage ditches, and rivers. It is also established as an introduced species in Australia, the United States, and Thailand, presumably as an aquarium escapee. Here in South Florida, you can go catch Jack Dempseys in our lakes and rivers and ponds, which is very interesting. Now, the male Jack Dempsey can reach up to 10 inches in length, and the female will get around 8 to 9 inches. Jack Dempseys are carnivorous. They eat worms, crustaceans, insects, and other fish. The Jack Dempsey cichlid is very easy to keep in the home aquarium. You will have no problem keeping the Jack Dempsey cichlid. One of the things I love about Jack Dempseys is they're very hardy and they're very easy to keep. They can adjust to pretty much any pH range and they will eat just about anything. You can feed them quality pellets, quality flakes, bloodworms, brine shrimp, market shrimp, earthworms, crustaceans, and even small fish. Really cool Central American cichlid. Now, they're more mild-mannered than some of your other Central Americans like the Parachromis and the Amphilophus. They will not go out of their way to kill fish, but they may chase smaller community fish, but they're a pretty cool docile Central American cichlid. So if you're looking for a colorful Central American cichlid, you got to give the Jack Dempsey cichlid a try. And that is this week's Aqua Alex's featured fish, the Jack Dempsey cichlid. Definitely get one if you're looking for a colorful cichlid. So the Jack Dempsey cichlid was this week's featured fish, one of my favorite Central American cichlids. And today I actually picked up one of my all-time favorite Central American cichlids, and I'm going to reveal it tomorrow on the 100th episode of Saturday Live. That's actually going to be the main event of 100th Saturday Live. So make sure you tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific to find out what Central American cichlid I got in the main event of 100th Saturday Live. Now, if you have any fish keeping questions or you want to come on here and chat fish with me, here is the link. You can click on that link there to come up on the screen and chat fish. But right now, we're going to take a fishy flashback Friday, and we're going to play one of my best fish keeping videos that I did here on my YouTube channel. Today, we're traveling back to 2019 when I was living in Springfield, Massachusetts. And we're going to go to a new fish store that opened in 2019. When it was founded and opened by a good friend of mine by the name of Tommy Pham, it was known as Imperial Aquatics. Now, Tommy has officially left the fish business, but it is still open today under a new ownership and a new name. Imperial Aquatics supplies exotic fish to the Springfield, Mass. And Western Mass community. So here is our Fishy Flashback Friday from 2019 and the Imperial Aquatics grand opening. This video has over 1,000 views, I believe, on my YouTube channel. Hey, it's Aqua Alex here, and I'm on my way to a brand new fish store opening up in Springfield, Massachusetts. The name of this fish store is Imperial Aquatics, and I'm going to videotape the grand opening of Imperial Aquatics just for you to see. I'll take you on a tour of the aquariums, and I'll show you all the fish and all the celebration that's going on at Imperial Aquatics. Very excited. All that's to come in this video. Make sure you check out Imperial Aquatics, 390 Dickinson Street, Springfield, Mass. And that was our Fishy Flashback Friday. I hope you enjoyed traveling back to 2019 to see the Imperial Aquatics grand opening.
Alex Cardinale invites you to the 100th episode of Saturday Live with Alex Cardinale. The 100th Saturday Live with Alex Cardinale airs Saturday, June 29, 2024 at a special start time of 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be a party and lots of fun to celebrate 100 episodes of Saturday Live. 100th Saturday Live is being sponsored by Oasis Aquatics, and there will be an Oasis Aquatics giveaway. One fish keeper will walk away with a special prize. There will also be an Oasis Aquatics store tour. Aqua Alex welcomes 2 fish keepers to the party as special guests. Jeremy Leighty and Brandon King will chat fish keeping with Aqua Alex on 100th Saturday Live. Plus, special cameo appearances. Chef Alex will be on hand to make homemade red velvet cake perfect for 4th of July festivities. All that and more. 100th Saturday Live airs Saturday, June 29, 2024 at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on YouTube channel The Real Alex Cardinale.
That's right, and we are less than 24 hours away from our 100th episode of Saturday Live. Well, now it's time to welcome Jesse from Salient Aquatics to the show. Unfortunately, Jesse couldn't be here tonight, so what I decided to do is I'm going to play a couple of his clips, a couple of his videos from his YouTube channel, Salient Aquatics. So, Jesse will be live here on Friday Live with Aqua Alex on July 12th. So July 12th, 2024, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. We will welcome Jesse from Salient Aquatics on the show. But tonight we're going to play 2 of his amazing YouTube videos. Here is the first one.
Yeah, they definitely taste like they smell. Oh. Hey, guys, give me a minute, I'll be right back. You didn't see that. I want to talk about an awesome little DIY trick I want to share with you, something I did yesterday. If you dose liquid fertilizers, if you dose dechlorinators, whatever it is, I'm going to share with you a little trick that you can do to make that easier for you, especially if you have multiple aquariums. This is something you definitely want to think about trying to do. Okay, let's talk about it. So when you're taking a shower and you want your shampoo, we all know the pump bottles make that a lot easier. Plop, 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 in the hair, you're done. Instead of opening the cap, getting some out, squeezing some out, whatever the case may be. Having a pump on your bottles make things a little bit more efficient and easier, and that's what I'm all about in this channel. If you can go back years ago, I speak about this. I like to do things that make things cost efficient and easier and more efficient in your aquarium or fish room, especially when you have multiple aquariums. Now I know a lot of people will do this, but some people don't. I didn't. I decided to do it yesterday and I put these together. So if you're using things in bottles such as C-Chem Prime, you're shaking, you're going around each tank, you're unscrewing a lid, 1 cap full for 50 gallons of water. You know, if you've got aquariums over 50 gallons, you're doing that a couple times in my case, and some people that may have bigger aquariums are doing that even 3, 4 times, depending on the size. Well, I had a few spare aquarium co-ops, Easy Green fertilizer and Thrives fertilizer laying around. Those bottles come with a 500 milliliter bottle with a pump. Now sure, you can go get C-Chem's gallon jug with a pump, but not everybody can afford to buy the big gallon jugs of C-Chem Prime. I have a couple of them here. I bought them once. It lasts forever. It's by far the best way to buy product. If you can buy it in bulk, it's the best way to buy product, because in the end you get more for your money. But then you're stuck with a big bottle with a pump. So what I did is I took Aquarium Co-op's Easy Green bottle. I tore the label of Prime and put it on here. So now I got Prime and a 500 milliliter pump. And I even wrote on it, just for quick reference, because I measured this out. Now keep this in mind. Before I wrote this on here and did this, I did accurately measure out what one pump will give you. And they're pretty accurate with what they say, both Thrive and Easy Green. 1 pump per 10 gallons of water is pretty correct. But what I have found, because nothing's the same, 5 pumps of this bottle will give you 5 milliliters of Prime, because I have a measuring cup. So 10 pumps for 10, right? Because that's how it came out. So that's what I do now. Now I can take my Prime in a smaller, easier to manage whole bottle and go around and boom, 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 right in the tank before I fill. But I went ahead and took this a step further. Let me show you what I mean. So first off, this is the measuring cup that I used to make sure before I put these together that they were accurate, because it's very important to make sure you're getting your dosing accurate. Now with Prime, it's not a big deal because they even tell you can double and triple that dose when you need to. But you don't want to put too much of anything in your aquariums, whether it be product, medicines, whatever it is. You don't want to put too much in. Very important to have the correct doses, because 1, if you're putting too much in, you can harm a fish, and 2, if you're putting too much in, it really won't harm a fish. You're wasting your money. It's just a waste of money. So understand that I did measure these accurately. I went ahead and did the same thing for Sea Chem Stability. This is a Thrive bottle that was empty. I made sure I rinsed these bottles out and dried them before I put the new product in too. But with this one, it was a little bit weird, and it must be just the consistency of the bottles. But 3 pumps of the Thrive 500 milliliter pump bottle will give you 5 milliliters of stability. 4 pumps, only 1 more pump, will give you 10 milliliters. Right? And I just wrote those on the side. 18 pumps for 60 gallons worth and 20 pumps for 100 gallons worth is what this will do. Now I can go around when I'm adding my stability, boom, 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 just like the Prime. Much easier, much quicker. But I went ahead and did it with something else. If you follow my channel, you know I'm a big fan of Vitachem. Boyd Enterprises makes a lot of good stuff. I've done reviews on their Chemipure. You can see that up here. And I've talked a lot about their Vitachem as well. So I use Vitachem weekly. I dose my tanks with Vitachem weekly to give my fish multivitamins, because I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure they thrive. And nothing wrong with giving your fish multivitamins. And the cool thing about Vitachem too is they also give your plants vitamins. But this isn't a commercial. Just a little quick explanation if you didn't catch that video. But there it is, another empty Thrive bottle cleaned out. Now I got Vitachem on tap. Much easier. Go around the tanks. Boom, boom, boom. Now, talking about Vitachem, and I didn't know it till I started doing this after I put it in here. It spreads all the sediments of the Vitachem and everything in the tanks a lot better than just dumping the cap in. Because I dose this directly in my aquariums. I don't mix it with food or anything like that. Because the fish absorb it, and when this goes in, you'll notice that they're going to go up and eat all those little sediments. Mine do. But I accurately measured it, and as you can see here, 6 pumps of this is good for 50 gallons of water, or 50 drops. 50 drops of Vitachem gives you 5 milliliters or 1 teaspoon. 12 pumps of this is good for a 100-gallon aquarium, or 100 drops at 10 milliliters or 2 teaspoons. Right? Because before I was measuring it out, dumping it in the teaspoon and going around. Now I can just go boom, 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 boom. But I was pleasantly surprised that not only did I make this easier, more efficient, quicker by putting it in a pump bottle, I love how it spreads out through the aquarium faster. When you dump it with a teaspoon, it just kind of would go into the aquarium, and it would just kind of sit there like a lumpy cloud. It would eventually spread out. This way, it goes around immediately. Be right back. Now, some of you may have already done this, but I haven't seen a video on it. And when I do things in my fish room and I try things, I want to share it with you guys on my channel. Whether it seems kind of dumb or not, I like to share it. That's what this is all about. I want to share the things I do within my hobby with other people that are within the hobby that might like it and it might help them out. And that's what it's all about. That's my favorite thing to do about my channel. So that's it. Just a quick video on converting over your products you may use to pump bottles, the reasoning why, and how they can help you in the long run. So let me know if you liked it. Comment below. Let me know little tricks, tips and tricks that you might have done like this, because I like to learn too. So until next video, I certainly appreciate your time. Be safe. Have a great rest of your week.
That was our first video from Jesse from Salient Aquatics. We're going to play this week. Don't forget, Jesse will be live on July 12th, Friday, July 12th, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. And here's Jesse's second video, where he talks about not overthinking things in the aquarium hobby.
At one point, you're going to walk into your fish room, you're going to go like, Jesus, what did I do? You walk around, you got water wall tanks, you got MTS bad. You started with 1 or 2 and it developed into what I've got here, running 13 tanks now. And that can happen, and it can be easy to run, and it doesn't have to be a chore every day where you can't stand it and you want to get out of the hobby, and that's what I want to avoid. These aquariums just don't have to be a chore like that. How you can achieve that is to let these aquariums be. They will take care of themselves if you give them a chance. You don't need to constantly have your hands in the aquarium. You don't need to constantly be cleaning the filters. And we do not need to be looking for a problem. If you are one of them people that are going around looking at your aquariums and you are looking for a problem, stop it. You don't need to do it. If your fish are happy, they're healthy, they're swimming around, they're not pacing up and down the glass, they're not at the surface gasping for air, they're eating, they're colorful, they're reproducing, you don't need to do anything. Let them be. I went from doing water changes weekly to bi-weekly to now monthly. And my tanks stay good. I could probably go longer if I wanted, but the reason why I don't is because I like to get that fresh water in the aquariums, give the fish fresh minerals, and I like to keep algae at bay. If the light's coming on all the time without doing water changes, you can start having algae issues, and I do that. And what I have found is a nice balance. Monthly maintenance, and I'm good to go, regardless of the size of the aquarium. I put a video out on this that most of my aquariums are the conventional style of fish keeping. They're not the natural dirted sand cap tank. I do now have 3 of those, and one of which down here that I recently did is a father fish tank. I have a dirted sand capped over here and one right over here. They definitely take care of themselves. How? Because the plants do the work. The fish and the plants have a symbiotic relationship. They work together and they keep the tanks in check. The good bacteria breaks down the bad bacteria, as anything will when left alone. But if you're constantly going to have your hands in the aquarium and you're constantly going to be stirring up the substrate, pulling up plants, moving fish, changing rocks, you're never going to get that because you're constantly disrupting the ecosystem within these aquariums. They don't know if they're coming or going. Less is best in this hobby. Leave them alone and you're going to find, if you give them a chance, they're going to take care of themselves. And it doesn't even have to be a natural dirted tank. It can be these conventional style fish keeping aquariums as well. I have minimal issues because I don't always mess with them. Now, if you're one of these people that want that for the hobby, where you want to have your hands in the aquarium, or wanting to change things, and getting into aquascaping would be ideal for you. I keep fish to keep fish because I like seeing that little slice of nature. Like if you put goggles on and you dipped your head into a lake or a river and this is what you would see. And I brought that home and I put it in here and I like to see it. I think as time goes on, we lose sight of that. And we're not sitting down enjoying with what was supposed to be the original purpose of doing this anyways. To sit down and enjoy these. Grab a cup of coffee, put your feet up, and actually stop. When is the last time you actually stopped and just enjoyed your fish in your fish room? Ask yourself that. And be honest. Are you truly doing that? Or are you too worried about making the next video if you're a content creator? Or are you too worried about setting up a new tank and pulling stuff out and changing stuff and doing water changes? If you leave these aquariums alone and give them a chance to show you they'll take care of themselves, you're going to find that you're going to enjoy the hobby a lot better. And you're going to have less issues. If you're cleaning your filters and your canister filters weekly and bi-weekly, you're wasting your time and you're wasting your money. You can run them things, I run them 7 months before I clean them. I've seen, read, and watched videos on people that don't do it for years. As long as you still have flow, and the flow hasn't reduced significantly, you're okay. You don't have to clean it. You just don't. What we think that is ugly and filth and dirt, that human clean mentality, is not. That's good stuff in your canister filter that's helping keep your tanks in check. Less is best. The more you keep your hands out of these aquariums, the more you keep your hands out of your filters, you're going to have less problems. Put as many plants in your aquariums as you can. That is one of the best tips I can give you. I'll pan you over to this aquarium here, and you're going to see it's packed full of plants. The plants do the work. I don't have to do anything. Top offs. Down here, this father fish style aquarium that I just set up, you can see that on my live stream that I did Tuesday. It's packed full of plants. Father fish sent me these plants in his dirt. This is a true father fish aquarium here. Once this thing settles and gets good, there's going to be no issue. The plants will take care of themselves, and the plants will always have nutrients from the dirt because of the sand cap locks those nutrients in even longer. That's the idea. Don't overstock, don't overfeed, feed high quality foods, don't feed subpar foods unless that's the only food your fish will eat, because they will foul your water. You need some water movement, so add a sponge filter for in these kinds of aquariums to just get the water agitating, because water that sits still becomes stagnant, and that will get foul too. The idea about this video is I wanted to talk to you guys about just learning to relax. Don't forget to take time to enjoy what you have created and what you work hard on. You have created a beautiful piece of master art in your house. Sit back, enjoy it. You don't always have to be doing something. Don't do this to the point where you get burnt out and you don't want to do this anymore. Everybody thinks that the aquarium hobby is super expensive and a lot of work. And when I hear that, I just kind of laugh and chuckle to myself, because I know that all my tanks is just the opposite. Now, I'm not saying that they can be stress-free all the time. As with anything, problems will always arise. But don't let people fool you. You don't need to be constantly adding this product and adding a goop that you put in your aquarium that breaks down sludge and cleans gravel. You just don't need to do it. Leave them be. They'll take care of themselves. Look how colorful, look how big, look how energetic. These guys keep pounding babies out. They're super colorful, big, energetic. All my fish are the same. All my fish are healthy. I don't have rampant diseases because I do less. Another thing about always having your hands in the aquariums and changing stuff, you're stressing your fish out. When you have a stressed fish, it lowers their immune system and makes them more susceptible to diseases. Things like this and what I've already talked about will lead you to an aquarium fish keeping hobby that is less stressed, more enjoyable, and you won't want to get out of the hobby. That's it, guys. That was the point of this video. Take some of the advice that I've given you in this video to help you understand that you can, as I said, probably enjoy the hobby more than you are. So I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next video. Live streams daily, and the big live streams are on Saturdays and Tuesdays, but this Saturday I can't do my live stream because I got to do some work with the family. But till then, be safe, have a good weekend, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and whatever you want to do.
Welcome back to Friday Live with Aqua Alex Cardinale. It has been an amazing episode so far. If you have any fish keeping questions, please feel free to post them down in the comments below, and I will answer any of your fish keeping questions that come in. All right, let's learn about this week's featured South American fish. This week's featured South American fish is my all-time favorite Silverdollar. It is the beautiful Redhook Silverdollar, known as the Mylius rubberipinus. So let's learn about the Redhook Silverdollar right here, right now, on Friday Live. It's time for the South American featured fish. And this week we are featuring one of my absolute favorite fish from South America. This week's South American featured fish is the Redhook Silverdollar, Mylius rubberipinus. The Redhook Silverdollar, in my opinion, is one of the more prettier and gorgeous Silverdollars out there. Redhook Silverdollars come from South America. They are found all over South America. You can find Redhooks in Peru, Brazil, Venezuela, Colombia, and more. Redhook Silverdollars grow to a decent size. Redhook Silverdollars can easily top 10 inches. Some can even get up to 12 inches, but 10 inches is most common for Redhook Silverdollars. They are a very cool Silverdollar. They grow larger than your normal Silverdollars, and they're more beautiful than your normal Silverdollars. Adult male Redhooks can develop nice orange spots, which looks great on a gray body with a nice deep red hook. Very cool fish. Redhook Silverdollars are great tank mates for Oscar cichlids, other types of cichlids, and other large fish. They're a great dither fish too. They look stunning in a school. Make sure you keep Redhook Silverdollars in a school of at least 4 or more because they are a schooling fish. And they will eat just about anything. They are omnivores. They love their meat, but they also love their vegetable matter. So I recommend feeding Redhook Silverdollars a diet that includes raw market shrimp, pellets, flakes, and also spirulina brine shrimp. But they will eat just about anything like any other Silverdollar. Very, very cool fish. And that is this week's South American featured fish, the Redhook Silverdollar. I'm definitely going to be getting myself some Redhooks for my 125 soon. All right, that was this week's featured South American fish of the week, the gorgeous Redhook Silverdollar. I could probably go out on a limb and say the Redhook would be one of my top 5 favorite fish that I have kept in the aquarium hobby. All right, right now let's get to our first of 2 topics for this week's episode of Friday Live. Let's talk about fish that are perfect for ponds because it is now summer and everyone should be having their ponds up and running by now. So, have a pond? Are you wondering what you can stock your pond with? Well, here are some fish that are perfect for ponds. Goldfish. Goldfish are perfect for ponds because goldfish get pretty large. Goldfish can get about 2.5 to 3 feet, depending on what type it is. Even the feeder goldfish get pretty large. And then you have your koi. Koi are also perfect for ponds. Koi are beautiful in ponds, and koi are the most popular pond fish. So koi would be great in a pond. And there are so many different types of koi these days. You've got your standard koi, you've got your long fin koi, you've got your butterfly koi, and even short body koi. So there's koi out there for all types of people. There are certain types of catfish that do well in ponds. Plecos, your common plecos will do great in ponds. Channel catfish will do great in ponds. And bullhead catfish will do great in ponds. And then there are your common plecos. And if you live in a tropical climate like Florida or Hawaii or Texas, you can add monster fish to your ponds. Monster fish like red-tailed cats, pacu, tiger shovelnose, iridescent sharks, arowanas, etc. They would all be great additions to a pond. Monster fish would be incredible additions to a pond. I would love to have a pond full of monster fish. And that is my first topic this week here on Friday Live with Aqua Alex. Are you ready? Are you ready to party? Are you ready for Saturday Live to celebrate 100 episodes? This Saturday, live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's the 100th episode of Saturday Live, and you're invited to join the party. Special guest fish keepers Brandon King and Jeremy Leighty will be part of the show as they discuss their love of the tropical fish hobby. The 100th episode of Saturday Live is brought to you by A.C.E. Aquatics, and you'll get a virtual store tour of A.C.E. Aquatics. There will be an A.C.E. Aquatics unboxing from Aqua Alex, and an Oasis Aquatics giveaway where the winner will walk away with $50 store credit. Plus, Chef Alex shows you how to make Pop-Tart ice cream sandwiches. The local South Florida business will be Flanagan's Restaurant, and there will be cameo appearances from some special guests. All that and more as we celebrate 100 episodes of Saturday Live. Live this Saturday, June 29th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific on YouTube channel The Real Alex Cardinale. Are you ready? Are you ready to... That's right. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, it'll be the 100th episode of Saturday Live. And on the main event of the 100th episode of Saturday Live, I will reveal the new fish that I got today. I will reveal the Central American cichlid that I picked up today, tomorrow on the main event of 100th episode of Saturday Live. Well, let's learn about another cool fish species. This time, let's learn about this week's saltwater fish. And this week's saltwater fish of the week is my favorite saltwater fish, the Foxface rabbitfish. There are 3 different types of Foxface rabbitfish. There is the bicolor Foxface, the one-spot Foxface, the regular Foxface, and the magnificent Foxface. So that's 4 different species of Foxfaces. So let's learn about the Foxface rabbitfish right now here on Friday Live. This week's saltwater fish of the week is one of my favorite saltwater fish. It is an awesome algae eater in the saltwater hobby, but it will eat practically anything. This week's saltwater fish of the week is the Foxface rabbitfish. The Foxface rabbitfish can be found in the far eastern Indian Ocean and in the western Pacific from Indonesia to the Marshall and Gilbert Islands, north as far as Taiwan, and south to the New Caledonia in Australia. In Australia, it is found from Western Australia on the northern reefs and offshore reefs, at Ashmore Reef in the Timor Sea, and on the east coast in Queensland from the northern Great Barrier Reef to the Capricorn Islands. It has been recorded as deep as 30 meters, 98 feet. The species lives in lagoons and seaward reefs where there is a rich growth of corals. The Foxface rabbitfish is omnivorous, eating mostly algae and zooplankton. They may be territorial. Adults are normally found as either solitary individuals or in pairs and are associated with branching acropora corals. So they're found near acropora corals. Juveniles and subadults may sometimes form large schools, feeding on algae growing on the bases of acropora corals. This species includes venom in the spines of its fins, so it produces venom in the spines of its fins, so be careful when catching them. Their venom is similar to stonefish. And there are different types of Foxface rabbitfish. There's the normal Foxface lull, which is a yellow and black Foxface. There is the one-spot Foxface, which is a yellow and black Foxface with a blotched spot. There's the magnificent Foxface and the bicolor Foxface. So if you're looking for a cool omnivorous algae eater to add to your reef aquarium, consider the Foxface rabbitfish. And the Foxface is definitely a cool saltwater fish, and they are definitely affordable too. I know saltwater prices have risen drastically over the last couple of years, but I think Foxfaces are still pretty reasonable. Today at the local fish store, I saw a 3-inch Foxface going for $50, and that's still a pretty good price for a Foxface. All right, let's get to our final topic for this week's episode of Friday Live. For my next topic, I'm going to compare fish keeping in Florida to fish keeping in Massachusetts. So let's compare the 2 states that I lived in. Fish keeping in Mass versus fish keeping in Florida. Let's start with fish keeping in Massachusetts because that's where I spent most of my life. Here is what I have observed as a fish keeper in Massachusetts. African cichlids and saltwater are extremely popular in Massachusetts. I have found that African cichlids and saltwater, more specifically reefs, were really popular during my time living in Massachusetts. Also around 2019, planted aquariums were beginning to take off in Massachusetts. But one of the downsides that I had as a fish keeper in Western Mass, especially in the Springfield, Mass area, was there was very limited fish stores. There was only like 3 or 4 fish stores, and they had very limited selection. So a lot of times as a fish keeper who has a wide variety of fish that I like, and I like the rare exotic fish, I had to order online as a fish keeper in Mass. But that was because I was in Western Mass. Maybe other parts of Mass could have been different. But the one good thing as a fish keeper in Massachusetts is that in Mass, you're able to keep freshwater stingrays, such as the Matoro or the Lopaldi, the black diamond stingrays. You're able to have a Giardini arowana, which is very, very beautiful. It's the closest thing to an Asian arowana. You're able to have wolffish, and you're able to have electric eels. I think electric eels are a very cool fish. I would love to have an electric eel one day. Also in Massachusetts, I found that live fish are generally cheaper in Massachusetts. Some fish species here are cheap, but a majority of the fish species in Massachusetts is a lot cheaper than they are here. And now we're going to compare fish keeping in Florida and what I have observed as a fish keeper in Florida. So here in Florida, monster fish are very popular. Red-tail cats, tiger shovelnose, pacus, jaguar cichlids, arowanas, etc. Monster fish are very popular. Saltwater is somewhat popular here, not to the extent of Massachusetts, but saltwater is definitely popular here in southern Florida. I know saltwater is more popular near Clearwater, Florida, and Tampa, Florida, but here in southern Florida, it's somewhat popular, but there is a big following for saltwater aquariums still. And African cichlids are extremely popular here in South Florida. Every fish store that I go to here in South Florida has an entire section dedicated to African cichlids. There's a Lake Malawi section that has your ambunas. It also has your peacocks and haps. And there's a lot of cool peacocks and haps at each fish store. That's how I learned about the unique African cichlid species, like the lemon jakes, like the super VC10s, the Malawi eye biters, the Malawi barracuda, the Malawi gar, the Malawi trout, etc. And there's plenty of frontosa species here in South Florida. So monster fish are popular in Florida. Saltwater is somewhat popular, but African cichlids are extremely popular. Shrimp and planted aquariums are also popular here in Florida. And there are plenty of fish stores here. That is something that I am not used to living in Mass because, like I said earlier, in Mass I only had a couple of fish stores. But here in South Florida, there are at least 20 fish stores near me. There are at least 20 fish stores within a 2-hour radius near me, which is pretty awesome. And each fish store has a great selection of fish. There's plenty of freshwater fish and plenty of saltwater fish. There's your bread and butter fish, but also they have a good selection of rare, exotic, oddball fish. And I have found Florida to have a great fish keeping community. So that is fish keeping in Mass versus fish keeping in Florida. I hope you understood my comparison and maybe you agree or disagree with my comparison. All right, tonight we're supposed to have our first guest, but Jesse couldn't make it. That's okay. Jesse will be live on July 12th. And Jesse from Salient Aquatics and I will talk on July 12th. But next week we're going to have our first guest. And our first guest next week is someone that's been in the aquarium hobby longer than I've been alive. And he's going to come on here, chat tropical fish with us. He's going to chat about one of my favorite Central American cichlids. Let's see who our special guest is for next week.
Our next featured fish-keeping special guest will be Jeremy Leighty. Live on the next Friday Live with Aqua Alex on Friday, July 5, 2024. At 10 p.m. Eastern 7 p.m. Pacific, Jeremy and Aqua Alex will be discussing a cool Central American cichlid genus. Come learn all about Parachromis. Species in Parachromis include jaguar cichlids and dovey cichlids. Don't miss Aqua Alex and Jeremy's discussion on Parachromis live this Friday, July 5, 2024 at 10 p.m. Eastern 7 p.m. Pacific.
That's right. Next Friday, Jeremy Leighty and I will discuss Parachromis, such as jaguars and doveys. That's going to be an awesome conversation. All right, now it's time for Oasis Aquatics to take over Friday Live. Since Oasis Aquatics is presenting Friday Live, it's time for the Oasis Aquatics featured fish. And this week's Oasis Aquatics featured fish is a beautiful frontosa from Lake Tanganyika. So let's learn about the blue moba frontosa right now. And if you're looking for frontosas, Oasis Aquatics has blue mobas and black widow frontosas in stock. Oasis Aquatics NJ.com.
So my name is Tom. I started fish keeping when my grandfather dug a fish tank out of the attic when I was about 5 years old.
So my name's Matt. I'm part of Oasis Aquatics. Been doing this for a long time. Started when I was about 7 years old. 22 years of doing this business.
I'm 29 years old now. I never stopped. There wasn't a day in between where I did not think about fish keeping.
I was doing a vet tech job for many years. Eventually I stopped that because this is my passion in my life.
Matt and I have known each other far too long, as many friendships should be.
And you're like, you know what? We need a fish store. There's no fish stores around here. So we had to make it easy access for everyone, to have many varieties from the little small stuff for everyone to the monster fish keeper people.
No matter what it is that you're looking to do, we can provide it for you.
This week's featured fish from the Oasis Aquatics stock list is one of my all-time favorite African cichlids. It comes from Lake Tanganyika, and it's a variety of frontosa. In my personal opinion, it is the most beautiful and most gorgeous of all frontosa. It is the blue moba frontosa. Now, the blue moba frontosa has intense blue coloration. So if you're looking for some gorgeous blue frontosas, check out the blue moba frontosas available at Oasis Aquatics. They're in stock right now at a great size for frontosas. 4.5 to 5 inches is a great size for frontosas. Blue moba fronties are available at oasisaquaticsnj.com. Here is some information on the blue moba frontosa, one of my all-time favorite African cichlid. The blue moba frontosa is collected in deep water, a process that requires a lot of effort and manpower, as the fish needs to be brought up to the surface slowly, not to be damaged by the change in pressure. Add to this the fact that this fish is collected in a politically very unstable area, and it comes as no surprise that the blue moba frontosa is much more expensive than the regular wild-caught Burundi frontosa. It is a very beautiful fish, and it has become popular despite its high price. The high price reflects how beautiful the blue moba frontosa is. The blue moba frontosa can grow up to 14 inches in length and will require a 90-gallon aquarium and larger. They do well in groups, and it is ideal to keep one male with 5 to 6 females, or keep even larger groups with a similar sex ratio. The aquarium should be decorated with a few large caves and rocks, and a lot of open space to swim in. It is important to anchor the rocks well since these fish like to dig. Good circulation is essential. The blue Moba frontosa is native to the southern portion of Lake Tanganyika in Africa, specifically Zambia. They are seen among open areas and rocky environments at depths of 6 to 120 meters. Tank setup should consist of a sandy substrate, areas with open space, and cave structures and rock work to hide in. Tank mates should be chosen wisely, but can work well in Tanganyikan community tanks with proper space. The blue Moba frontosa can become predatory towards smaller fish. Adult males grow a much larger hump on their foreheads than females. So if you're looking for a blue Moba frontosa, head on over to oasisaquaticsnj.com and go to oasisaquaticsnj.com to view the full stock list. Those frontosas are absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to get my African cichlid tank up and running so I can get a couple of blue Moba frontosa. All right, now it's time for Aqua Alex Amazing Fish. Every Friday on Aqua Alex Amazing Fish, or excuse me, rather Aqua Alex Awesome Fish. Every Friday on Aqua Alex Awesome Fish, I'm going to show off some of my personal fish. So tonight, our awesome fish is going to be tiger Oscars. And I actually have a tiger Oscar currently. He looks like a normal tiger Oscar. He looks like a wild-caught tiger Oscar. So my first video I'm going to show you is my current tiger Oscar right now in my 125. He's hard to film sometimes. He goes where the light is not at, so it's hard to film him. But here was my all-time favorite tiger Oscar that I had. This was when I first got my 125 in 2022. And that was this week's awesome fish, the amazing tiger Oscar. It's been a great episode this week. I had a lot of fun on this week's episode. But next Friday on 4th of July weekend, I have another awesome episode of Friday Live coming your way. The first Friday Live of July 2024 is going to be awesome.
We kick off a new month on the next Friday Live with Aqua Alex. Live Friday, July 5th, 2024. At 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Fish Keepers, let's kick off your 4th of July weekend in style. Our featured special guest is Jeremy Leighty. Jeremy and Aqua Alex will be discussing parachromis cichlids such as the jaguar and dovey. Aqua Alex's featured fish will be the Trimac cichlid. The South American featured fish is a rare catfish species known as the black-tip mouse catfish. The saltwater fish of the week is the sailfin tang. Aqua Alex's amazing fish will be the true parrot cichlid. Plus, an update on the new fish Alex got on the 100th episode of Saturday Live. All that and more, live this Friday, July 5, 2024, at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on YouTube channel The Real Alex Cardinale.
So next Friday's episode is going to be a really fun episode of Friday Live. All right, it's time for our featured fish keeper. And this week, our featured fish keeper is going to be Brandon King. And next week, we're going to have 2 fish keepers that we're going to feature. But tonight, we are featuring Brandon King, who has some beautiful fish. So here is Brandon King's newest aquarium. This is his 240 gallons. It's a community aquarium, and it's absolutely stunning. He has like 20 roseline sharks in it, so that's why I call Brandon King the Roseline Shark King, because he has over 20 roseline sharks. He has a clown loach, some rainbow fish, and a couple of other fish in there, including a red-tailed shark. And don't forget, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, Brandon will be one of our 2 guests on the 100th episode of Saturday Live. And here are some of those said roseline sharks. Very, very colorful fish. Very, very beautiful as well. One of my favorite of the common plecos, the gold-spotted pleco. Very, very pretty one. This one's over 1 foot too, so very, very nice. And finally, another beautiful roseline shark. You can't go wrong with the roseline sharks. They are very, very beautiful. All right, we have reached the end of tonight's show, so that means it's time for Aqua Alex's closing thoughts. So, here are my closing thoughts. Don't miss the 100th episode of Saturday Live, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, less than 24 hours from now. We will have celebrated our 100th episode of Saturday Live. You don't want to miss that show. There's going to be an Oasis Aquatics giveaway. One lucky fish keeping viewer will get $50 in store credit. Plus, I get a new fish and more, so don't miss the 100th episode of Saturday Live tomorrow. I also want to wish all the fish keepers out there a happy early Independence Day. This year, the Independence Day is on Thursday, so happy 4th of July, fish keepers. And finally, enjoy your aquariums and enjoy your tropical fish. Make sure you do your water changes and make sure you feed your fish quality fish food. With that being said, have a great rest of your Friday evening, and I will see you tomorrow on the 100th episode of Saturday Live. Thank you for watching Friday Live with Aqua Alex. Have a great day, and I'm Aqua Alex, and I approve this.
Thank you for watching this live stream on the Real Alex Cardinale YouTube channel. We hope you enjoyed today's live stream. Whether you learned about tropical fish, a crime, an American tragedy, or had fun on Saturday Live, your view is what keeps the great content coming. Thank you for supporting Alex Cardinale and watching this live. It's hard to believe we are quickly approaching 11 years together. Get ready for a big 11-year celebration taking place in New Jersey. Special thanks to our sponsor Oasis Aquatics for helping our channel grow. Looking for quality tropical fish? Check out oasisaquaticsnj.com. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Share this video on social media and let your friends view too. Remember, sharing is caring. Subscribe for more awesome videos. Thanks for watching and stay legendary. Goodbye for now. We will see you on the next live.